Dust by King of Terrors. Readit 222 winner. Fingers rose to the front of his face. Made of bone, not even bleached by the sun, but stained yellow. But what interested him was the particles of dust that swirled around them. Death was absorbed by the way the tiny flakes would float, slowly, weightless, and visible, thanks to the warm light coming through the window. "What are you even on about?" Charon said, sitting on the other side of the room. "I left my boat, the river. I walked out of the realm just to see you doing nothing." "You will understand," Death said, moving slowly, every bone of his body creaking as he looked over his shoulder. "With time." There was no smile, no blinking eyes, but an emotionless skull looking back at the other. "With time," Charon sighed, lifting himself from his seat. And in the second he did so, everything around him seemed to shiver. Every atom shattered, breaking apart, only to turn whole again. He had broken through the fabric of time and space, just to move at the speed of thought and stand behind death. Slowly, his arms embraced the other, resting his chin where a shoulder should be. "You always say the same." And just as death, there was no smile, no eyes lightly rolling, but the same emotionless skull. "So, is this the world you wanted to show me?" Death nodded. "Yes." "Just this? Dust?" Charon asked again, gazing at the same particles Death was so amused with. For the ferrymen, they moved like the souls that were drowning in the depths of the river Styx. Sluggishly, always making an effort to defeat the strong currents of the darkened water. "Trying to understand you, it's quite the feat. But I guess..." Charon tilted his head, stretching his arm out, placing an open hand next to Death's. "This is the reason why I like you. You and your dust." If flesh was covering his skull, Death would be smiling. His fingers moved, disrupting the slow fall of the dust and making it twirl faster. "It's simple, Charon. This dust. It's the remains of every mortal in this realm. Minuscule particles of dead skin, all floating forever in the void. I'm touching what once covered their crumbling bones. Do you get it now? This is what's left of them in this whole universe. Just dust, slowly degrading until it is nothing." Tilting his head, his empty eye sockets gazed back at Charon. "It's beautiful," he said, lowering his hand. A door had opened, and a man had entered the room. His moment was now broken, being reminded of his duties in the realm. Death moved away from Charon's embrace, gently forcing him to step to one side. Once again, the fabric of time was torn, as the bringer of the end moved closer to the stranger. "Charon." Death turned to look at the ferryman. "Just beautiful." The words were whispered as he patiently waited for another life to end.